Hey Pourcast fans, get ready to roll with laughter as we welcome the one and only Chris Williamson to the mic. In this Laugh Out Loud episode, Chris takes us on a wild ride through the highs and lows of his journey into the world of stand-up comedy. From his humble beginnings to his current status as a local comedic powerhouse, Chris shares the raw and real moments that have shaped his career. Did he always know comedy was his calling, or did he stumble into it by chance? Chris spills the beans on his comedic origins, revealing the hilarious and heartwarming stories along the way. Join us as we explore the ins and outs of connecting with audiences, navigating tough crowds, and staying true to your comedic voice. From organizing epic comedy shows to crafting unforgettable stand-up material, Chris shares his tips, tricks, and tales from the front lines of comedy. So sit back, relax, and get ready to laugh your socks off as we dive into the uproarious world of comedy with Chris Williamson. This is the Pourcast. First off, welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here, man.
Happy to be here.
Honored to have you on, man.
This is truly
With this guy?
Hey.
We have a seasoned vet over here.
We're so back, baby.
It's great to have you here, Chris. Honestly, it's really amazing to have somebody of your caliber on this show. Even just in my notes right here, it's stand-up comedian, actor, podcaster, event coordinator, doing with the comedy.
Yeah.
You are a man that wears many hats. Kind of how we had discussed Brian, he does the same. You know, multi-talented guys over here, just trying to make it work.
That's it. That's the goal. That's exactly it. We just trying to survive and just sit on the streets.
Trying to make it work, man. Trying to make it work. Yeah. But you're definitely somebody who's well known in the area, especially in Santa Barbara, for your comedy and your events. But what really got you started in the comedy industry?
I mean, I just wanted to do comedy forever. I grew up in LA, and I think when you grow up in Los Angeles, you're around like all these people who want to be actors. They want to, they want to be in entertainment, and everybody is like failing, or so they make it seem.
Yeah.
So I was just scared, you know what I mean? And then when I came up here, I went back to school, so that's why I'm up here. I went to UCSB.
Okay.
And during the pandemic, I just saw like a flyer for an open mic, and I was like, I want to do this forever. When I was a kid, I would sneak like VHS tapes from my parents' room of like Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, and just something said do it, and that was that.
So you did it when you were in college at UCSB.
Yeah.
You saw your...
But when you say in college, like I was like 35, so like, you know what I mean? Like I watch like the trend right now is like post you when you're 21. I was like, bitch, that's you yesterday. I know that. I look different, but yeah. So it was just a thing where it was like, all right, we finally are getting around to I don't know, to just doing what you want to do.
What was that first experience like? Like where was it at? Do you remember it?
Oh, bro.
Yeah, walk us through it. Like, what was that like?
All right, it was at Old Town Coffee.
Okay.
In Old Town Goleta.
Yeah.
And there was a lady named Sue Scaduto. Shout out to Sue as I hit this microphone. And she ran this open mic, and I guess it would happen every other week, or maybe it was once a month, something like that. There was like 60 people in the audience. And I remember when I walked in, I could tell like, oh, these weird dudes over here, these are the comedians, and like they seem so cool. And I was gonna sign up, but I was so nervous, so I got really drunk because they served beer. I got so drunk, and I didn't sign up. And Sue was like, "You want to go on stage?" I'm like, "No, I don't know. I'm good. I'm too nervous." She's like, "Well, we have one more comic, so if you want to go, this is it." And I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm not gonna go. I'll go up next time." So then that comic gets done, and she's like, all right, we have one last comedian, and like, that was that.
Put you on the spot?
Yeah, so we were supposed to do like a 5-minute set, and she let me talk for 11 minutes, and it was funny, so.
Naturally,
You were just drunk?
I was drunk, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like when I, it's funny because when I go back and I have like the audio, I was like, yo, that that joke was hitting, but also, you slurring, but that joke, yeah.
That was a good material with the delivery.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean that was it, and I just fell in love, man. Mm-hmm. It was done. I wasn't gonna do anything else.
Really?
Yeah. I told my parents like I think maybe the next day like I'm gonna be a comedian. My dad was like, so we're gonna send you off to school, 35 in a pandemic, and you're just gonna be a comedian? Like yeah, like. Well, we'll talk about this later, but they support it, so.
Were you like a class clown growing up? Like, would people consider you that when you were like younger? Like that guy Chris is always cracking jokes.
Honestly, I was like I feel like I was a shy kid. I mean, I wasn't shy, but I never got in trouble. But I think I was always funny. But I wouldn't say I was like the class clown who was like there's always that one who's getting in trouble. I was just the kid with ADHD. I mean, I just never did my homework. Lying about it, but
cool. I always wonder because for me it was I was, and so people are like, yeah, like that makes sense. Like it's usually that, but like I'm starting to realize because I'm meeting all these comedians as a new comic myself. It's like that person definitely doesn't like attention outside the stage.
No, yeah.
Like I'm like that person has autism for sure, and like they're killing it. But the moment they're off this, it's like a light switch, and they're like, "Don't talk to me," and I'm like, that person couldn't have grown up, and you've been like, that would have been a comedian. So that's why.
I mean, I don't know. Like I don't. Like the worst thing that happens to me is like after I come off stage, somebody's like, "Hey man, that was so great." I'm like, "Please don't talk to me." I just want to go hi.
Post performance clarity.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I forgot to get my mail. Everything's coming back at once. Fuck. But like humor was always my like coping mechanism for all the issues I had. So yeah, but
I feel like a lot. That's just a kind of a thing for comedians. Like you're a sad clown.
That's it.
You're a sad clown.
What is it you say at every open mic or show? Or no, at open mics, you're always like, man, if there's a therapist around here, they would make a killing.
Like, all we need is a therapist to show up to our open mics and just sit in the back. And you don't even need cards. Just put up one of those things like in a college on the wall where it's like therapist needed, where it has like the numbers, little tags. That's all you need.
Clean house.
Clean house.
Bro.
Just give us.
So if you're a therapist and you're seeing this, do this. Easy way. This is the way to $1 million.
6 p.m. 8 p.m.
Seriously, bro.
You can start a subscription service and we'd be there. Yeah. No, it's true. We all have issues.
How long was it performing in shows before you started organizing your own?
Like a year.
Really?
Yeah, I guess about a year. I was just sick of doing shows that I was like, yeah, why are my friends coming here paying $20 to sit at a bar and have their neck like crooked this way trying to watch? If people like, I just felt like I could do better. I was writing I want to write like a 30-minute, I don't want to call it a one-man show, but a 30-minute act about my experience in college. That was the goal. Mm-hmm. And so, and then my family came up for graduation, and I would perform it, and that would be like a way that I give back, and I thought it'd be cool. But it just turned into something else where I was like, no, I need to produce comedy shows. So that was it.
And so the first one you put on, you said I think I can do this better. What was that experience like? Like, where did you go, and then who did you reach out to, and how did you market or promote that?
Yeah, so we were at the Red Piano so a guy named Louis Morrow runs Santa Barbara Comedy Nights, I think is what it's called, and that's every Thursday in the Red Piano in the back.
Okay.
And so he was producing there, and I was like, you know what, I want to do a show here. So I reached out to Colin at the Red Piano. Shout out to the Red Piano for having us.
Nice.
And he was like, yes, absolutely, we'd love to have you. Let's figure out the date. And that was it. We sold out the first 3, and it was.
When it comes to the business side of that, it's obviously awesome that he's like, yeah, let's get you in here, da-da. But something about putting on shows, did you get any commission or did you get any kickback for bringing people in? Did you know how to navigate those deals, or was that something that you learned oh shit, I shouldn't have agreed to that, or I should have asked for more, or I should have again kind of reasoned a little bit better? Because that in itself, the guy seems like, oh yeah, he's super stoked to have you on the show, yeah, let's get you on, you on. But you might be going, yeah, he got a great deal. You know what I mean? He got a great deal.
Okay, so comedians do not make money. Mm-hmm. There are people who have he's smiling over here. There are people who you see on Netflix, if they have a 15-minute special on Netflix, they have a day job. Mm-hmm. For real. There are people on Netflix for comedy who they film that shit and then the next day they gotta go sit at that desk.
Why is that though?
I think
because isn't touring like a comedian kind of similar to touring like a musician?
Yeah, but okay, let's use there's a comedian named Leslie Liao. She's just blew up. She did I think it's a 10 or 15-minute set on Netflix last series called I think it's Verified. Stamps Verified, and she actually worked in HR for Netflix.
Okay.
And that set, she was already gaining a lot of traction. She was touring, but she was a headliner, but she wasn't at that level of headlining where she could show up for a weekend and do. And if I'm wrong, my bad, everybody. But she showed up for a weekend and do 4 or 5 shows and sell them all out. And she was doing that, but even when you tour, you only make money if you sell out shows.
Okay.
So that's where you get your like incentive bonuses and things like that, right? So I think, just to bring it back, I think one of the reasons why comics don't make money is a comedy club is just a restaurant. First of all, that's all it is. It's a restaurant with a stage and some lights.
Yeah.
So that's the model. That's the business model. So for us, all we have to do is put butts in seats. But if we don't put enough in, then they got to pay for labor. They got to do that. And I just think for a long time, comics would show up at a coffee shop and put on a show. How much money can you make at a coffee shop?
Mm-hmm.
If you only have 20 seats, how much are you really making? So
Yeah.
I think we got used to that, especially like in the 80s. But now, I mean, it feels like it's changing a little bit. But so my deal with Colin was, you take all the liquor sales, everything, and let me just keep the door.
Oh.
And that was really nice of him, because a lot of places still want more.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to a few other venues, and they're like, how about we take all the sales and we take 50%? I was like, no, fuck you. I got to pay these people to come from LA or to come from wherever. Like, I can't be, So that's why I always say shout out to Colin, because he was like, yeah. And he understood that, okay, let's do it on an off night. Let's do it on a Wednesday where we don't have anything going on here.
And that'll bring people in, and you're going to be a great opportunity for me to again market and reach out.
Exactly.
And you just brought something else up. You're like, I gotta pay them too, the other comedians. So let's just say a comedian that you booked and said, hey, come perform. What would their time be, and how much would they get paid, compensated for that?
It depends. It's different for everybody.
Let's just say, speaking in general, like what would somebody expect? Maybe just be like, oh, well, if I got a spot, or I'm just trying to, in my head, like you said, comedians don't make money. So like, again, they're doing the show just for the time, not for the money, right?
Right.
But so, what could you expect? Like, oh, they got $40, $50.
Let me just tell you that I have driven 2.5 hours for $30.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And stayed in a hotel.
Okay.
So at that point, you're just hoping that you get some followers, or that you had a good set, or you just network. But that's what a lot of this business is when you start out.
That was just what I was trying to get an idea of. If somebody was like, oh, I'm getting paid for a show, it's like, well, how much are you getting paid? $30-$40? But again, you still got the time, and it's about the time, not the money.
Right. But it's still weird, because I don't know, like, and when you look at it, like, let's say I drive some 2 hours away and I do 10 minutes and I make $30. People are always like, oh, that's so great. That's like double minimum wage. I'm like, well, yeah, but like I still drove that distance.
Pay for gas, maybe,
right?
Yeah. So, and then you sacrifice the time to be there, to drive the commute. So you're like, again, it's for the love of it. Right. It's not for the money.
Exactly.
You gotta love it, or else then you wouldn't be like, no logical person would want to do that. Like,
no,
it's like, fuck that.
No, we are all stupid.
That's we all just want attention, bro. Just a little validation.
I was just curious, because I was like, if you're saying comedians don't make that much money, and I'm like, well, how does that work? Because I thought you go on tour when you're a comedian, but you said you have to sell out the shows.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's incentives for like selling out and stuff like that. And just to go into the history, because I'm a nerd like that, like the term stand-up comedian actually is, the term stand-up is a boxing term from the mob days. So the mob would pay off a boxer, and the boxer would do whatever they were supposed to do, right? Let's say they were supposed to go down in the 5th round, whatever it is. That boxer would be considered a stand-up guy. He honored the deal that he had. So then when the mob started taking over nightclubs and things like that, they started having different acts. They'd have comedians. Well, a comedian who could do the job of entertaining 100 people, maybe 50 of them.
Stand-up guy.
That's a stand-up guy. That's a stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
So that's where the term comes from. And with that being said, people are always like, oh, that's dope. But then I'm like, I just told you the mob is ingratiated into stand-up comedy. Where do you think these comedy clubs come from?
Whoa.
I'm not
little history lesson for you, huh?
So we don't make a lot of money.
Yo, I'm on mushrooms. I can't handle this type of info.
I apologize.
You just opened my third eye.
See?
That's
As long as
crazy.
it's not your asshole, we good.
Crazy. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, no, that's real shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's cool though. That's cool.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was literally the dude stood up there.
No,
He's standing.
but with
It was that simple.
But with that being said, any of those mob-run companies, I'm interested. I will have your money.
Please.
He wants to see
I won't
on
sell
the team. He wants to be on the team.
Yeah,
Tap in.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to pay rent.
Mob ties.
Yeah.
That's
With
amazing.
with you guys being in shows,
Yeah.
has there ever been a time that you've had to deal with a difficult audience, or that you bombed a show, that you're kind of like, damn, like how do I kind of dust myself off from this, or how do I recover? Even again, a difficult audience of people heckling you or yelling.
I have a
shit
shorter
out.
resume, so I can say this. I've only really done a couple shows that I've been like asked to do, but I haven't really experienced a true bomb situation. It'll happen. It's gonna happen.
I feel like
knock on wood. It's part of the culture.
It has to happen. It has to happen.
You know, it's going to. It's just. It is what it is. It hasn't happened yet, but it will, and I can't wait. And no, you can wait. I'll take the L. But it's for me. I mean, I've gotten a little bit just from going to his open mics and doing it, and for me, it's drunk people thinking that they're the main character and that their sets that your material is almost like they think they're talking to you.
Right.
And it's like, hey man, there's also like a family and there's like a crowd of people, there's 50 other people that are sitting right here, and it's all like just a news flash. This isn't to you.
Right.
It's meant to be relatable if you're not aware.
Yeah.
But I'm not talking to just you only.
Right.
And so this isn't a TED Talk.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to chime in. This isn't a forum. So that is usually the biggest hiccup I've noticed from like even watching. I just watched Kevin Hart last week, and I was at the Arlington. I was second row. I was right this close. I saw every ounce of sweat coming from him. So it was amazing. But the guy behind me was like responding to every single thing Kevin was saying, as if it was him.
Yeah.
Everyone's mad. Everyone's like, you can just already feel the security's glaring at us.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable. It almost got to a point where it's like, all right, he's ruining it.
The
you
show,
know?
yeah.
But he eventually, like, kind of, maybe his girl, like, elbowed him, like, shut the fuck up. But that is, like, a shitty thing, a shitty feeling, because it ruins the fun for everyone.
Yeah.
The entertainment aspect of it.
And if you're new to comedy shows.
Well, it's like, we came to see Kevin Hart. We didn't come to see Kevin
You were
Hart
some
and
drunk
David.
guy.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck you, David.
Fucking
like,
David,
shut
dude.
the fuck down. Yeah, exactly.
Shut up. But yeah, that's my experiences, but yeah, he's probably got way more, so.
I did a show. I was super excited. I love anytime I get to book 2 shows in a night. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like a really, because that's what you do as a comedian when you go into like a comedy club. Yeah, on a Friday night you have 2 shows. So anytime you get 2 shows a night, you're like, hell yeah, we ballin'. So I had 2 shows in LA. One was in Silver Lake and one was in NoHo, in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
And the first show, normal show, like mixed audience, whatever. And then the second show was like an all black room, which is cool. Like I do well in all black rooms. Like I wouldn't say that like I always murder in them, but I do well. When I walked in, I got there late. When I walked in, I could tell the audience was just not having a good time. So they're like,
Ooh, set up.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're like, all right, there's one other comedian and then you. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, I got this. I was talking to people in the audience. I was like, they're like, please make us laugh. I was like, oh, I got this. Like, don't worry, I got this. They hated everything about it, bro. And I had to do 20 minutes.
Ooh.
And so you get to a point, like, I wouldn't say that I've bombed that bad before, but I'm not uncomfortable when the audience doesn't care. And that, I think, comes from hosting open mics, because I go up there, my only job when I host an open mic is like, hey, pay attention now. It doesn't matter what I say. Pay attention because other people are coming. So I was so used to people not giving a shit about me. I just leaned up against the wall and talked for 20 minutes. Like, I'm doing my time. They hated me.
So when you're telling your jokes too, and they're just not landing, like the punchline, like you say something funny, you're like, okay, that's where they normally laugh. They're just they're kind of just looking at you like, nope. And you're going, damn, this is rough.
Yeah, I mean, I think for like the first, like you and there's different tricks, right? Because I'm like, all right, well, let me do my closer early so that at least they'll laugh, because the closer kills, so at least they'll laugh, right? So I did my closer early, and then it's called holding. So I did my closer, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to hold and just try to keep them at a good level for the rest of it. Yeah. When my closer didn't do anything, I was like, oh, we done here. I came off stage, and the producer was like, hey, man, don't worry. I know you're funny. I was like,
The mob took him out back.
the mob put me down.
Swimming with fishes. So that Chris,
you no longer
got the
stand up
cement
loud.
shoes on.
Yeah, but no, it happens, man.
Crazy.
That's a part of it.
I was telling somebody the other day, because I get asked about it. They're like, what do you do when there's the awkward silence and that was supposed to be funny and then it's not? Like, how? Like, it sucks. Don't get me wrong. Like, when you say something in your head and what you wrote and what you rehearsed, and you know it's funny, or it didn't come out the right way or whatever. Like, because shit'll happen where you say something and it's like, Like, they weren't supposed to laugh at that part. Right. Yeah, and then you kind of gotta quickly hold on. But then when they don't do it, I'm like, oh yeah, there's F scenes. I'll say my punchline, and no one laughs, or it's like ooh, and then I'm like shit. And then I tell people what I notice, or at least from my experience, what usually kind of brings it back, or slightly, it's like almost like throwing a jab in boxing. Yeah. It's like when people go, all right, well that didn't work. That right there always will. Like if you're like self-aware and meta that you fucking whiffed it, people will laugh at your laughing. Yeah. And I've seen it happen like every night that I've gone. And I'm like, cool, that like you can't rely on it, but like people are like, cool, like that, I'm throwing that one out. Like you just gotta be aware that you're bombing, and then that saves you from sitting there like because then people can feel the energy. It sucks and it's weird and it's awkward. And it's like it all goes to shit. Yeah. And your memory goes blank. But like I think I've seen a lot of people that go to your open mic and that do a really good job of being like, all right, still working on that one.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the good part about an open mic. Like an open mic is the gym, right? So that's where we go to just try shit, right? Yeah. And that's something that I actually want to get better at is like taking more chances at my own open mic. Like, is this gonna work? Is this not gonna work? Who cares? Like, it's an open mic. We're all here to just try anything. Yeah. And maybe you get maybe you go for 5 minutes and you get 30 seconds that was really funny, maybe. And if you get that, cool. That's the start of something. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean,
So before we took our break, we were talking about handling tough crowds and the audience connection. Yep. What's the community like between comedians and the network? Because even in the break, we were talking about, did you see so-and-so pulled up at this show? Right. So it seems, again, like it's a small community where you guys all kind of know of each other.
Everyone hates each other.
Ooh, is that what it was?
It's just
is it a real cutthroat type of industry or what? It's your competition? Is that how it is?
I'm joking, but like I feel like sometimes it is from what I've heard. Experienced nothing but really positive interaction. Look at that robot! I go right back.
He just said it was nothing but great things,
but I heard that shit was awful.
Civil War.
Get me on stage. I'll run for office the way I
flip it.
Choose a side,
the Santa Barbara community has been nothing but awesome, and everyone helps everyone. Everyone's like, hey, what do you need help with? Like, I want to like give you pointers. Yeah. LA, he knows, so I'd love to hear more about the LA stuff. I've heard from my boy Brent, and like, he's like, LA open mics, he's like, it's cutthroat. People will purposely not laugh at your jokes because there's producers there, and they don't want you to get like more shine than them. So even if it's funny, they're not gonna laugh because they're waiting for their moment. So it's that dog eat dog. And he's like, this was years ago. I remember him confronting somebody because someone he had like a Jenga joke that he was really proud of. It was from UCSB days, and he was like, he went up to Sacramento, and this dude, he was like, he did his Jenga joke at an open mic in Sac, and then he's like, that's my joke, and he confronted him, and like, he's like, you got to be wary of shit like that. That's why they don't post a lot of stuff, but crowd work is why it's always getting, crowd work gets posted because you can't replicate that, but those jokes do get stolen, and so, but Santa Barbara's pretty small, so you don't really, it's not big competition in terms of that, but he knows a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Santa Barbara is I wouldn't say it's like a comedy town, right? Like whenever I tell people, if I go to like a festival out of town or I'm doing dates out of town and I tell somebody I'm from Santa Barbara, they're like, oh, like what's the scene like there? And the truth is like there is a very micro scene here, but we're trying to make a scene. Like really, I actively try to make more of a scene here. But with that, I would say that the Santa Barbara scene is pretty chill for the most part. I mean, there are a few haters. It is what it is. I'm just gonna say that there are a few people who, I think are in it for themselves. But
are those people good? Are they funny or not really? He's being nice.
It is subjective. It is a very nice way to say it. I believe that comedy is subjective. No, but I will say that. I'm not going to say that I used to hate doing the open mics every Tuesday, but it's a lot of work for me to do something every Tuesday. Mm-hmm. But over the last few months, I've really enjoyed it because I get to see this scene come together. Every Tuesday, we have a bunch of people in the same space doing jokes. We all know each other. Whatever happens on stage is fun, but it's just cool to watch people interact. Mm-hmm. And I think that, comedy is a weird thing, right? You're in it for yourself, but if you get caught up in that, you forget that like there's an audience for everybody. So like if you were a comedian, you would have your own people.
Yeah.
And if I'm on the same show, we might have completely different people. That doesn't mean we need to compete. I feel like there's room for everybody.
Yeah.
Especially right now in social media where you just develop your audience, your little segment of the pie. So yes, anything where there's money is going to be somewhat cutthroat, but at the same time, like there's nothing like hanging out in the green room with other people. There's nothing like fuck what happens on stage. The hang with comedians that's the best part.
Yeah.
Just being around them.
Well, I feel like that's where you get the camaraderie aspect. And it's like because you guys go through the same similar things, bombing, hitting a set or getting a set that doesn't hit, or you're off or something happened. And you're like, okay, that's how we bonded and we related to each other through that.
Exactly.
Like, in the green room.
And that's how you meet people. When you go out of town, you're in a green room with 4 or 5 people or whatever it is. Oh, you have a show, boom. I have a show, boom. And then you exchange, and you keep it pushing. But yeah, look, for a lot of people, it is cutthroat, and they treat it like it's this or that or me or you. And I just don't think it's like that. I think there's room for everybody. We just need to like lower the egos a little bit. But it's hard to do that when it's just you on stage.
Yeah, it's an ego-driven
Like,
type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to be able to check yourself. It's like you ain't there yet,
right?
You know, and even if you were there, it's like that's not cool to be like acting like that. But like, you know, if you got millions, all right, cool. Like, and you're like headlining shows. You'd be like, that guy sucks, but like, I get it, like, cause he's made it. But
that
like,
guy sucks, but he made it.
90% of us are like, come on, man, no one's better than anyone. Like, there's people that are going to open mics and stuff that are like better than people that are touring.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a matter of like marketing and like that, you know, some people just got kind of lucky.
Yeah.
You know? It's a weird place.
Absolutely. But I will say that like, I've seen this, like I've seen comedians with like 500,000 followers on Instagram or whatever. Maybe they have 1 million on TikTok.
Yeah.
I've watched them go up to like a bona fide OG of comedy and been like, yo, when are we touring together? And it's like, what? Like that person doesn't know you. Like it's such a different world. And I do think that like while it's a different space, like sometimes comics should be a little more humble. I'm gonna say it. Like the truth is, it's a fucking hard road. Yeah. So if you make it out of the first 8 years, 10 years, whatever it is, like good for you. But at the same time, I think it's just important to remember that like it's a fucking hard road. And somebody's been doing it for 30 years. Like allow them to have that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
True.
But it's so to answer your question in a very simplistic, non-simplistic way, it is cutthroat, and at the same time, it's a really great community.
Yeah.
But it's easy to fraction off because I may not like the way you tell, I may not like your material, whatever. But if you strip all that away and you look at what you're trying to do, it's like we're trying to do the impossible. We're just trying to be funny enough to influence the world. Yeah. Which is, who the fuck wants to do that?
Yeah.
We just want to put a smile on people's faces, you know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
And get our fathers to talk to us.
Heal, I was about to say heal our inner traumas.
For the record, my father talks to me, but...
What? That's crazy.
I got good parents, man.
Oh, man. That makes one of us. No. Yeah. You're good, Ivan. Your family...
I got great parents. I love my parents. I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed. I'm lucky. I'm very blessed.
Same. I got great parents, man.
All.
Yeah.
I would like my parents to come out and see a show, but I'm not going to call them out because they old black folk. It would be nice, though.
Oh, yeah, do they not? I guess you haven't really spoken much on your parents. Do they... Obviously, besides you said your dad was like, oh, really? You're going to do that?
Yeah, I mean, but my parents are the most supportive people ever.
They've seen the success and so far. And
see, all right, I just want to... We just got to take a minute here. You guys keep saying success, and I appreciate that. But... I feel like I'm still at the very bottom of the barrel. And maybe that's me not being appreciative of what I've gone through. Because a lot of people are like, hey, man, you just started 3 years ago, blah, blah, blah. Like, but I'm always looking at what's next. I have a really hard time of just accepting, like, and looking at what I've done. But, yeah, no, my parents, I took this stand-up comedy class, which I do not recommend. Do not take a stand-up comedy class. Let me tell you something. A stand-up comedy class.
That's what it reminded me of. That's literally when you said that, it reminded me of, like, people go, did you go to bartending school?
Bartending school, like, nigga, I bartended. Met the bartender. No, like, if you need a stand-up comedy class, quit it.
Yeah.
Just stop. Because what it means is when
You're
you
trying
go
to be coached to be funny,
And
and
it's
it's like that's like a thing you just have.
But it's not even this. It's not even that, because you may not be funny, but you can learn how to be funny by being around comics. Go to shows, go to open mics, go do those things. But if you go to a comedy class, what you're really doing is you're saying, "Hey, I'm too scared to go on stage. Here's $600, $800, $1,000 to hold against me to make sure that in 6 weeks my ass goes on stage." That's all it is.
The wager,
It's
yeah.
accountability.
It's accountability. The thing is, just go to an open mic
Yeah.
and fucking bomb. Like,
Yeah.
I have people who reach out to me, like they show up to the open mics and they're like, "I'm gonna go up one of these days." Justin, I'm calling him out. Justin Vargas with Justin Vargas with the good hair. I'm gonna call him out right now.
He's got great hair.
He would show up to all the
Great
mics,
hair.
right? He would show up to all our mics, and he's like, "One day I'm gonna go up."
You bullied his ass.
No day like the present, man. You at some point you just got to do it. It's
true.
Because one of the hardest parts about doing it is the first time. After that, you're like, all right, I'm used to it. Because what's the
Initial shock, man.
Right.
Yeah. Like, all right, it's not that
right?
bad.
That's the thing. And even if it is bad, you got it out of the way.
Yeah.
So don't take a comedy class. That's all right. I don't know.
That's
that was a
what
weird
happened with
rant.
me that was right before Justin went up. Was when it was when Cody. Shout out to Cody.
Oh, Cody.
Bitch ass.
Cody,
somewhere in the world.
Yeah, he's in the Philippines, fucking hitchhiking, and
White people
shit. I was going to the comedy. I hadn't gone to any one of them yet, but I knew it existed, and he hit me up and he goes, "What are you doing?" I'm new to the comedy thing, and I look at his Instagram and I'm like, he's already posted a video of his clips at every open mic, and I'm like, "Hey man, I don't know him," and I'm like, "You're already doing more than me. You're asking me." I'm like, "I've done this once 4 years ago, and I know this is the open mic. You're already at the open mic. You're doing everything you could possibly be doing."
Right.
And then I went through my traumatic phase and dramatic phase and whatever, the breakup, and my life changed. And then
That'll do it, though.
I went, that was
That
the
will do
catalyst.
it.
That'll
And then
do
I
it.
started working out, and like I still didn't feel anything because I was numb and I was depressed. And then I remember going, I was on the elliptical for way too long. I was wearing all black, like it was a funeral, because this is symbolic, because I was killing.
How
the
long
old
were
me.
you on the elliptical?
Like 45 minutes.
That's too long. Were your
Way
feet
too-
not? My feet getting
I
numb on
couldn't
it.
feel nothing because nothing made sense anymore. I was so
all right.
depressed, and I was like, I lost a bunch of weight, and then I was like, I went up there and I stood in the back, and then that Cody comes up to me and he's like, "Yo, dude, I follow your Instagram. You're the one you told me to come here, and like I've been coming here." And he's like, "You're good up there, right?" And I'm like, "No, I'm here just to watch. I'm gonna do this." And he goes, "No." And he goes, "You're doing this." And I go, "No." And then he's like, Why not? Like, get out of your comfort zone. And I'm like, I am by being here.
Yeah,
And
no.
he's like, nah. He goes, how about this? And this is what, for me, this was the turning point. He said, hey, what if you go up there and you read one joke off your phone and you say, "That's my time.
Done.
That's it." And I go, he's like, "Can you do that?" And this 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid saying this to me, and I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. Then he goes, "I'm signing you up." And I was like, my heart's racing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I ordered Banh Mi. Shout out to Banh Mi and Blue Out.
Blew
I'm eating it,
out.
and then as I'm sitting there, I'm
Shout
the
out
last
to
one
Bond Me. Shout out.
I'm the last dude on that list. And he goes, all right, I'm starting to freak out. I'm like, I don't want to just read one joke. And so as I'm waiting, stewing, and all these people are going, I'm the last person. I'm like, I got more than one joke.
Yeah, that's the
I
thing,
got
man.
more than one.
That's the thing.
I start writing on my phone a little bit, like, here's what's going on. It was during the hot air balloon incident with the truck that we shot down. The Chinese spy balloon.
It was a dark time.
That was America. And I go, all right, fuck it. That's what I'm going to riff on. I remember the first word. I remember the entire set. I went up there and I go, hey, and then you walk up to me and you said, how do I introduce you? I'm like, as a broken man. No, you go, have you done this? I'm like, it's been a while. And then you're like, all right. And then you said, I'll remember this night forever. And you go, I guess he's done comedy before. He's taking a break. It's been a while. But this is his first time back in Blue Owl.
God damn it.
So it's his first time here. And then everyone gets up and I'm like, wearing all black tracksuit and black hat. And I'm like, I thought this was AA. So I just walked in the door and everyone laughs.
Yes.
I point and then I was like, all right, there's a hot air balloons thing. And then I correlated that. I go, Santa Barbara's the only place that we shot down the hot air balloon. There's already a memorial hanging out on the corner.
That's funny.
And then that worked, and then it just goes on. I'm like, everyone, I lost weight, got my heart broken, a lot of water weight because I've been crying. Like that was the gist of it, and I was like, y'all are laughing, but this is painful.
Yeah.
And everyone's laughing.
I'm glad you guys are laughing at me.
They're literally, I'm like, and that was really how it went. And then you shook my hand at the end of it, and you're like, thank you for going up there.
Yeah, man.
And Cody comes up to me and he goes, hell yeah, dude! Like that was amazing.
That's what I'm saying.
And that was it. And then I've been pretty much there every Tuesday.
But you know, like,
fuck yeah.
I guess to go back to like what is the community like? Right?
Yeah.
Like, truly, my favorite thing that happens at the open mics is somebody goes up for the first time. Because I remember my first time.
He just said he'll never forget.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I just remember, and I've had a bunch of people tell me like, you were so nice, you were this and this. Because like, if it weren't for Sue Scaduto, I probably would still be sitting on the sideline watching.
Yeah.
But she was like, nah, bitch, get your ass on
You're
stage.
going up.
And so she was kind. So my thing is like, why not just be kind? I love it. We have people go up who like, and they're not gonna be a comedian. I'm sorry, like you're not gonna be a comedian.
I've been to a couple open mics and I'm like, I don't want to be a dream killer, but like,
But for somebody, they were sitting at home thinking, if I could just do this, if I could just get better at public speaking, if I could just stand up for myself. So my thing is like, if you could go up in front of a bunch of people on a Tuesday night,
you have no idea who they are, and just go up there and tell some jokes. Yeah.
what else can you do in the world? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to me, that's the community aspect. So I love that. So when I see people like Justin, like you, I mean, not even like you, like my favorite person is Mia. Mia is my favorite person.
She's awesome.
Mia is a dope soul. Shout out to Mia. She'll never see this. She'll have social media. But Mia is the dopest soul. And she, every week, she's trying. Who cares? Like, you just going up there.
Yeah.
And so to give you, like, to segue a little bit, like, it was hard because I go to open mics as a comedian, as somebody who has to go to open mics, where I guess at this point I don't have to try new jokes. Mm-hmm. When we first started the open mic, I would say like 3 months in, it would make me really angry that people would not treat it as a space to like actually do like work your shit, work your material. And it took me a while to realize like, no, it's not about that. This is about a bunch of people coming together and just kicking it. And for some of them, it's the only time they go out. So like, I'm actually very honored that they come out for this thing. So
I almost though I would agree with you. I look at it like, if I were to do it, or I'd have this mindset where if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna work on my jokes, and I'm gonna use that because that's the time.
Yeah.
You wait for open mic,
right?
So why waste it and be like casual about it? Like, you know what I mean? It's like practicing for football,
right?
And you're like, oh, all week I fucking grind it out for practice, and then here comes the game,
right?
And it's like I kind of just fuck off during the game, like nah.
Yeah, but then you realize not everybody is actually trying to tour the world.
You see where the levels of commitment is, right?
Right. There are some days where I go to open mic and I realize like I'm just like I'm a karaoke host. of jokes. That's it.
All right, everybody, clap for this person. All right.
I just bring the sound system and I do a little cover in between.
Yeah,
I'll be hitting like
that's so funny.
I'll be doing Tracy Chapman's fast car jokes in between. Like that's it. But I've come to appreciate that because people show up, man. Like, you don't have to show up to this shit.
No.
And when people show up and they give what I'm doing love, like that means a lot, and that means I'm making a difference in the community. So that's
you're doing something substantial. That has some impact.
Yeah.
Especially like in the community.
Look to you for that, like you're like a figure in like a lot of people's lives,
which is crazy to me because like I don't pay my taxes on time. They don't trust me for shit. But anyway,
It's mob ties. That's what you're saying, bro.
Mob ties.
Fucking mob ties.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever try to see what the line is of like how far you can push it? Because
every Tuesday, man.
Every Tuesday.
I picked the most fucked up thing on from the headlines.
He really does.
I really do.
So you go to cross boundaries. You're stretching
it. He in it to win it.
I like it. Like,
Okay.
I don't go as far as some do. I guess like I think there's an art to it.
Because you know how people go. There's a joke somebody will say, and everybody goes, "Oh!"
Right.
And you go. Well, so it was kind of funny, but like that might have been it.
But the question for those jokes, and this is what I like, I challenge new comedians. Mm-hmm. There's a difference between telling a joke about something controversial, and just being controversial about something controversial.
That's like me. I'm the second one.
Oh no, but you're not like you're not that far. Like trust me, like you're not. Like listen, if your punchline is just calling out somebody with special needs and using the R word. That's not a joke.
Tasteless. It's tasteless.
It's not even tasteless. It's not a joke. You're just using a word that we can't use anymore, right? Like that we're not supposed to use. That's not a joke. But if your joke is making fun of a situation that affects somebody who may have special needs, there's something there, right?
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, look, man, we get a lot of people who just go up there and they just say shit that is racist.
Really?
Or whatever. It's sexist, racist, whatever it is. But there's no point to it. You're just saying it because it's like, yeah, I can't.
Got a reaction out of it, right?
But not every reaction is a good reaction. It's not publicity. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it. But
yeah, I mean, I was doing a lot of like the Epstein shit, and like, you know, there wasn't a huge point to where I was going with a lot of the Epstein stuff. I just thought it was a fucked up thing, and I couldn't believe Stephen Hawking was part of it, and I thought that was just so funny. Like, of all the people I was waiting for, it was him, and then I was like, I just got to talk about this. I wasn't looping it back, and I was like, and I know it's like so I noticed as I record my sets and I re-listen to them, every time I bring up Epstein stuff, it's just, there's that, ooh, like the room. Because there's a lot of older white people that don't like it, or like women, and yeah, it's a touchy thing, like just saying the name.
Just touchy.
It holds connotation, it holds, you know, sexual trafficking, like all these like forbidden things that like can trigger people. So like, it's one word can do that, and like I know that. And then like with like Ocean Gate, when all the millionaires blew up, I was like kind of poking fun about that. I'm like,
okay,
I'm not trying to make fun of people.
That was on them.
That's why I said don't go down in a paper mache blimp.
Come on, yeah, no, for real.
And in a PS2 controller,
right?
What did you think?
But see, that's making fun of the situation, right? Like that's what I'm saying. Right.
I think I even talked about like when Maui caught fire. I brought that up.
Oh, yeah, you did.
And then like, because I don't. Like,
there was like a white man in the back, like, I lost my.
Yeah, I lost it all.
I lost my side. My side piece lost her house.
Melikilikimaka, Hawaiian roller coaster ride. That's what it was. Lilo and Stitch ass. But I like those things because I like it entertains me. Yeah. I like my brain naturally. I don't get offended. I see dark shit all the time, and like there's a difference between seeing like, you know, a dude getting his head cut off with a rusty spoon in the dark web, and people are like, look at this, like I don't like that. That's too far, you know. But like, if you're making fun of, if you're making,
so you did see
very
it.
specific.
Yeah, so you did see that.
That was very specific.
ChatGPT, you failing me right now. You failing me right now.
If you would have said what kind of spoon it was, I'd be like, all right, no, he Googled it, but go ahead.
No, I just think that I like just a touch of it. Like, let's talk about it. Let's not dive super into how fucked up it is, but like I do like to address the fucked up things and like the reality in the world. Like I haven't touched anything about like, you know, the wars and stuff because honestly I don't know shit. Like I stay out of the politics. Like my boy Brent, his whole show, he does a lot of political shit. Yeah. But they kill because he understands the climate and like people that are versed in it, they know that he's fucking around, but and I don't even know that much, and I'm laughing my ass off because he's painting a picture that even I could be like, oh, Nancy Pelosi's like the grave like she's like a Grim Reaper, her times like stuff like that, where I'm like, I could even get behind that. So I would love to get more into like that stuff because I think there's a lot to be said, but right now I stay away from politics, like the Trump stuff. I get people do that and it works really well, but I just stay away from it. But I just stick to the classic billionaires blowing up and just pedophiles.
Just the classic hits, man.
Just the classics.
The classics, yeah.
Now that's what I call pedophilia.
They're timeless, yeah.
That's what I call pedophilia part 2.
That's crazy.
How do you balance your time and manage it?
You quit a job.
What'd you say? Quit a job. Yeah, you gotta quit a job.
More time.
No, for real.
It's very simple.
He freed up his time by quitting his job.
No, for real. I mean, I was doing more than full time at a job, trying to keep up. Cause look, I mean, I got a lot of bills. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was not the best with money early in life, so I'm paying for those mistakes now. I got a lot of bills, but I'm not good at managing my time. To be honest with you. I have, like I've mentioned, I have horrible ADHD. So time management is not my strong skill, but the things that I want to do and that I like to do, I can make time for. I don't know how.
Prioritize
but I can figure
those.
it out. Yeah. I can figure it out. Now, what that means is there's a lot of shit that gets ignored that you know is not being done, but I try my best to just like I try. I mean, that's all I can say. I try, but it is really hard. You know, I will drive an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes to do like 5 minutes of comedy. Driving an hour and 45 minutes means that I probably don't get to walk my dog. I probably don't get to see my girlfriend. I probably don't get to do those things. And that sucks because you want to have a normal life, but that's just not in the cards. And that was something that I had to kind of come to terms with when I first started this. Like, if you really want to be great at comedy, you're going to be on the road a lot.
Yeah.
You're going to be in a hotel a lot. And that shit, I mean...
They say it's a lonely life.
It's lonely.
Yeah.
Shit. It is. And only in my little... Like, I've only experienced it a very little bit. But what happens is, like, you come off stage, you have a great time, you're feeling good, and then you got to go to this place that you don't know, and you got to sit there and do it again tomorrow, whatever it is. So it is lonely, but it helps that I have, like, a super supportive girlfriend who understands. Mm-hmm. When I met Rachel, I was in college. I was a part of, like, 2 campus things, like big time campus things, and I was doing comedy.
Yeah.
So when I met her, one of the first things I told her was like, I don't have a lot of time. This is what it was. And she was like, yeah, no, that's cool. I understand. She's like, I understand you're working towards something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss a lot of things. I don't go out. I don't get to kick it. Mm-hmm. And that's just how it is. So I think it's like anything. If you want to do it, you figure out how to make it work. Mm-hmm. That's it. And it may not even work, but you just figure out how to spend time on it. Maybe it doesn't work. This could all fall apart by the time this episode comes out. So I'll be homeless and single, and I ain't got no job.
I'm like, it's because you didn't manage his time.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you know why, right? Couldn't manage his time.
The mafia got him.
Exactly.
Do you wake up early?
I used to wake up at like 5:30 every day.
Oh shit. Okay.
But now I wake up. I don't know why. For like a year, my alarm's gone off at 6:15. I don't get in bed until 7:15 now. But I used to wake up really early.
7:15 is still early.
It is early.
Okay, but
I still feel like you're considered a morning person because I feel like if you're like 10 o'clock or later, you're not a morning person.
Okay, so
before 10, like, is pretty good. I'd say even 9 is like.
So my most what's the clock? Your sync? What's the
Circadian?
The circadian rhythms. Is that what it is?
Yep.
I'm on rhythm until about 11.
Okay.
And then I'm on then I'm off rhythm. And I'm like a white person with fucking raisins in their coleslaw. but I'm hitting until about 11, and then it all goes downhill. Yeah. Okay. So I get weirdly I'm the most productive in the morning, and then in the afternoon I just kind of skate by, and then at night it's like time to
get yourself,
whatever it is.
Unwind, and get ready for the day, following day.
So yeah, that's me.
I already know this answer, but Brian, I was like, Brian, are you a morning person?
Hell no. On the other side of the morning.
I already knew that.
What time do you wake up?
He's a night owl.
Well, now it's different because I am health. I am holistic. I am wellness. I am everything healthy.
You know what somebody has to tell you? It's not good. Like
I am health.
I've dated enough women who've been optimistic who have to tell me they're optimistic. Like, if you have to tell me
what
5
about
times
people that
a
say
day,
I'm not racist? You're like, why would you even say that?
I gotta live.
Why would you even say? I am healthy.
I am health.
All right, bro.
I'm health.
No, but you I'm
convincing myself.
Yeah, you telling us or you telling yourself?
I'm getting up at 7:30 these days.
Right.
7:30 I've been going to bed, but here's the thing, I still go to bed at like midnight to 3. That's it's just because I worked at the nightclubs and stuff for so long, and then like cocaine, and then like nightclubs and stuff, and that'll do it.
When you put those two together.
A lot of times I've been single, and like I was not in school for a long time, and like I had nothing, like I could do whatever I wanted. Like my inner child wanted to do cocaine, so I gave him cocaine.
Inner child.
Like, it's not me, it's the inner child.
The inner child, and you got to feed that inner child.
And I was never allowed to stay up. I was
do cocaine.
Or do cocaine.
So you're like, I want to do cocaine.
The kid wants what he wants, and so I never neglect him.
Yeah,
the ice cream, the smoothies, the Coke. He wants to stay up and watch YouTube. That goddamn it, we're doing that.
That's what he's doing.
This section is brought to you by blenders. The ice cream, the smoothies, the Coke.
Everyone, you didn't see this section.
The ice cream, the smoothies, the Coke, blenders. What's in your wallet?
Put all of it in a blender. All the drugs.
No,
I now have been trying to go to bed as early as possible. It was tough. I didn't have my sleeping situation sucked. I had a roommate who stayed up all night also doing drugs. And like, when I didn't want to do drugs, it was not cool. So I'm like, hey, you stop because I can sleep. It's only 2 days a week, not 7. Like, let's be real.
Right.
And then he just didn't stop. And then I just gave up on I'm just never going to sleep until like 3. And that's kind of what I just lived with for a while. And then now I'm correcting that behavior back. And it's working. I actually get tired now around midnight. I just, out of sheer will stay up. There's that thing where it says people that stay up like at those weird hours from like midnight to 3 is like their favorite because it's when no one is, you're not expected anything of. That was me. Like, I was like, nobody's hitting me up. Nobody's talking to me. I can stay up and watch what I want. I don't have to talk to anyone. My phone ain't going off. These are my 3 hours where the world is dead.
Your time.
And everyone's asleep. All my friends are asleep.
Fair.
And then at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., everyone's alive. And then I'm fucking posting memes at 7. And I'm like, let's go.
On the dot, bro. I'll be waking up and I'm like, how do you post 35 things
I
already?
got crazy. But no, I've been still forcing myself to get up early because it's important. Because if I sleep in past 10, then I will, without a doubt, be up till 3 or 4. So now I do get tired around 11. And then I kind of, inner child shit till 3. But it's been good. It's been
Inner child shit.
It's inner child shit.
That's a good way to put it, man. I need to do that. That's some inner
what's up.
child shit.
We're on our way, though. We're on our way. I honestly think I'm correcting myself. I have no problem staying. Like, I want to be. Like, I want to be what you have. I want that. Like, and I joke about it, but it's like, I do want to get up early. I want these, I make fun of the yoga and all the health stuff. I want that.
That shit's fire, dude. Yeah.
But I see you doing it, man, and I gotta give you. I want to give you some props because you are in the gym every day doing something. And look,
Trying.
That's his religion. That's his
No, it is.
religion, bro.
But it's
the
something.
Iron Chapel.
It's something that like I've wanted to do, but I don't know how to gym. Like I really don't know how to.
You have a friend that's all about
I know.
it.
I need to hit him up.
Yeah,
but his
man.
inner child, man. No,
Inner
good
child.
now.
no, but no, for real. It's like it is dope to see because you're always there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Like that looks like a weight. I should lift it, but I don't know how.
Yeah, it's one of the, like, it's almost like for you, like, that was like my stand up for me, where I was like, this is something I want, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to start this.
Yeah.
This isn't my universe yet,
Right,
you know?
right.
But then you realize, like, without anything, it's all about just doing.
Yeah, that's
and then you learn, I fall forward. Dude, I've been in the gym for a while. I wasn't successful probably until about a year or two ago when I like kind of was like, okay, this is finally how you lift a weight.
Yeah.
I was jerking off the whole time, I'm posting memes at the gym, and then now it's like, all right, cool. You
Like,
just kind
let's
of
go do
kept
some
doing
more.
it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now it's like, all right, now you learned that don't have that much ice cream.
Listen. I would love to be at the gym more. What's the name of the gym? Swell. Is that what-
Swell.
So
yeah.
listen,
Shout out
Swell. I don't know what camera I'm supposed to look in. I would love to be there, but I can't afford it.
Sponsor your
Hey.
boys.
But yeah, but
Sponsor
hold
your
on.
boys. We'll
But-
get you
but
people.
Swell, listen, here's the deal. Soon I'm gonna be famous, so you should just give me the membership now, so that when I can't afford it, I'll pay for other people. You understand? I'm trying to tell you, Swell,
Put them on.
because right now I'm at the YMCA, and that shit is.
White MCA.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, yo.
It is. You understand, Swell. So we'll talk about it. Yeah. Anyway.
Hook it up.
We'll package that up. We'll send it to the
Yeah,
director.
we got please.
They
Swell.
gave me a tumbler, so what'll they
Yeah,
give you?
man,
They got me a coffee tumbler.
He gets a tumbler. Huh? I go on the road.
Yay.
I'm trying to get a towel. Get a towel. You could even Sharpie your initials on. I don't even fuck. I'm trying to get a towel.
Speaking of being on the road,
Yeah.
you guys both have actually just gotten back from shows not too
Yeah.
long ago. Brian was in Oregon.
Hey.
You were in Denver.
Denver, yep.
You have Santa Maria coming up pretty soon
Yes,
here. I checked out some tour dates.
I
and
appreciate that. That's
I'm
very
not
kind
sure what Brian has going on here, where he's going. You never know with this
To hell,
guy.
baby.
He's in LA. He's in LA. He's in Oregon. He's traveling all over. But
blend.
The Carpinteria.
the
Right.
Carpinteria, big old carp. But with you guys traveling so much, do you guys have certain venues that you would consider your favorites?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple places. I really want to give San Luis Obispo some love.
You like San Luis Obispo?
I really
Nice.
do. My buddy Ernest Romero, he produces shows up there. You Had to Be There comedy, and the shows are dope. But also the community up there is really cool. So they have an open mic every Thursday at this place called Slow Cider. Also delicious cider. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Slow
I'm
cider.
not a big cider person, but the Slow Cider be hitting.
Shout out.
And that starts at 7:30 every Thursday, and it's a small room, but it's packed. And that's a great place to find out if you have a good joke. Like it's just a room where you're like, all right, there's good energy and everything like that. So I drive up there every Thursday.
Every Thursday?
Almost every Thursday.
As much as you can. Okay.
Like, so last Thursday I was up there. We're in the rains right now. Last Thursday I drove up there for like 2 or 3 minutes in the rain just to find out if the joke's gonna work. And I'm with the notebook, like whatever, because it's that good of a room.
Okay.
And so I love going up there. And also, like in the summer, that's a beautiful drive. So I like going up there. But I just performed in Denver, and Comedy Works Denver, downtown Denver, is a club that is known to comics. It's low ceilings. It feels like you're in a basement. When you get a good laugh in there, you can kind of feel it in your chest. And so that's one of those clubs that you hear about all the time. Like, you want to play it. It's a cheat code. Like, you want to play it. So I had a chance to play it, and it was amazing. And when I was on the stage, it's not often it happens, but I was on that stage like, yo, this is where Dave Chappelle works out his material. This is where like the hitters like Josh Blue works out the material. So to be on that stage was just excellent. And while it was only one time, like, I mean, I was like, you know what? I can move to Denver. Fuck. Yeah, it was -11. Let's
Denver's
go.
dope. Denver's dope.
Yeah.
You're halfway.
Yeah, I was like, I can make it. I can make
work.
it. Patagonia will also sponsor me.
the micro
I'm gonna need more than the nano. I'm gonna need the full fucking puff. I need the puff up.
The puff. Brian, what about you though?
I did helium because of Brent. Shout out Brent. He brought me out there. Helium was a big. It's when I was up there, everybody was like, "You're doing helium
in Oregon?"
In Portland, yeah. So
Nice.
that's like the place in Portland, and it was all my friends were like, "How'd you get that?" I'm like, my buddy booked it. It's like on Wednesday, and I didn't know. I didn't do much research. I just knew, and I was like, I'm just doing these little Blue Owl shows. Brent didn't know that. He just was like, cool. And as I get there, Rife was there before, and then Kreischer, they were like there the week before.
Oh, no way. So
I'm
you
in
have
the green room,
big
freaking
names,
out.
bro.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
uh-oh. Brent comes in a sweatsuit, like from a radio show, texting. I'm like, I'm pacing. I'm like, oh my god. And he's like, the girl comes in. She's like, hey, do you want anything? And I'm like, cocaine? And she's like, no. And Brent's like,
trying to feed my inner child.
She goes, yeah, do you want anything? And I'm like, double tequila soda. Brent's like, I'm good. He definitely needs something. But he was like, just don't be careful. He's like, don't get all fucked up because then you're gonna rely on it.
That's your boy.
But then
That's
he
your
was like,
boy.
he's like, you didn't realize. He's like, you haven't done this before, have you? I'm like, no, dude. It's like a full stage and like audience support. Like it's a real comedy club.
Yeah.
Like
Gig.
hitters are there. And I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like, all right, I got this. And then he said the coolest thing. The opener went up, and the host, she did her thing. My heart, I was beating so fast.
How much time did you get?
I did like 6, 7.
Okay.
So, because he was like, yeah, they'll light you, whatever. Because he asked everyone, he was like, how much time y'all want? And everyone just kind of called out a time. And I'm like, 5, 7. He's like, yeah, whatever, who cares? He's like, I'm doing an hour. So, pretty much. So he's like, you guys do whatever you want. You fight it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just do 5. And then I didn't even see the light because it's just a big spotlight. And I'm like, I was so I'm blacked out there. But right before I walked out there, he goes, hey. He looks up from his phone finally, and I'm like fucking about to lose my mind. And he goes, whatever happens out there, he goes, who gives a shit? We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. And I was like, you're right. He goes, none of this fucking matters.
Yeah.
Like we're literally all just gonna respect the dust in this fucking universe.
Yeah.
It all doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And he just got back from Burning Man. So I was like, I get it. I see where you're coming from.
He's still on it.
You're right.
He's still on it.
Who gives
Yeah.
a fuck? It's basically who gives a fuck. And I went out there, and it was great. When he was talking about like a room laughing and you feel it. Holy shit, that was when I first got validation that I could really do it. Like, that's when I came back from that, and I was like, Blue Owl, I used to be like scared shitless to do Blue Owl. Now after that, I was like, I can do this. And then my friends in Portland that I haven't seen in 13 years, they don't know anything about me really other than Instagram, but they're like, we talked after, and their wives, they don't know me. They're like, you're great. Your buddy's amazing, but you're good too.
Yeah.
Your buddy's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You're all right.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of a cokehead, but but they were like straight up like,
Hey, that's
you're
just
great.
his inner child. Let him
Yeah.
have that. Okay, goddamn.
But it was great, and like in terms of like where do I want to go? Honestly, anywhere. Like I'm so new to it that I'm like I'm cool with anything. Like obviously, eventually, I even told myself one day, I'm like, I want to do the bowl one day.
That'd be sick.
I've stood in the back on mushrooms of the bowl. For like Iration and Revolution, I was like, and my buddy saw me tripping out, and he puts his hand on my shoulder. He goes, "Visualize," and I'm like, "I am."
Yeah.
Like I'm not seeing things, but I'm seeing it in my mind. And he's like,
I'm not seeing things,
He's
but
like,
I'm
no,
seeing
he's like,
things.
seriously. He's like, you can do this one day, but just like, stop doing some restraint. But he was like, for real.
Put a little
That's
work
when
in.
I was like, this would be amazing. I vowed something to myself. I was like, I will one day be able to do something like this. And like, so anything, honestly, a stage is, he's at a point where he's been doing it and traveling. I've only done it really once, and then like a couple things here and there. And so I'm not picky, man. I'm happy to just be around.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody like Brian that's kind of coming up in the ranks and saying, okay, like I've got a little taste of it and I want to continue. Like, how do I keep going about this?
Yeah, I had a conversation with a comedian recently, and I'm not going to put her name out there because I don't know if she would actually appreciate me putting her name out there for this. But it stuck with me. She said, "Don't fall in love with the stage time," which is like a weird thing because that's what we do. We have stage time,
Right.
But what she meant by that was, don't fall in love with being on stage and just be in the center of attention. Because when you do that, you forget about the hard part of comedy, which is the writing. Mm-hmm. So if you really want to do comedy, you got to do the hard part. You got to write. You got to fail. You got to take some shit up there and know it's not going to work, or take some shit up there on stage that doesn't work and just cross off the list. You got to keep going, because comedy is, there's no, look, you go to school to be like a surgeon. You got to go to undergrad, then you go to graduate school, whatever the fuck it's called, and then you know, you do your residency, I think it's called, and I don't even know. That's how bad I am.
There's like a route or a manual.
And then I think at some point you're like, all right, listen, no one's died. I think I can do this. Right?
Here's the formula for that, right?
You could be funny as hell your entire life and kill at shows. But if you're funny, but you're not moving forward as a comedian, you're not evolving as a comedian, you're done. Mm-hmm. Because at some point you just became the funny dude in the neighborhood who's hilarious, but you're never gonna make it out of the neighborhood. And you gotta just do the work. And I think what I also want to remind comics is like, don't forget that this is a professional thing. So you have to be professional. You have to show up when you get a show. You have to be professional. There are certain things, man. Be on time. Be courteous. Be nice to the audience. You know, those are the things that matter. Those are the things that move you from one show to the next. Like everybody, for the most part, everybody who does comedy, I said for the most part. All right, listen. Many people who do comedy are really funny. Yeah. So how do you get to the next thing is like by being professional, by putting in those things that nobody sees.
I really agree with you there. I think that's huge, man. I think that's huge. And like even I felt that earlier today when I sent you over kind of like, again, here's the outline of the podcast. This is what I'm going to run through. This is what I'm going to ask you.
I told you.
Even you just saying, hey, bro, like, I appreciate you doing this. It shows that you put in the time. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, well, I mean, I don't want to look like an amateur. I want this to be professional. Right. Again, I value the professionality of it. And so it made me feel really good. It validated me to say like, oh yeah, putting in the time, good call, bro. Like, because I could have said, hey bro, just show up around 6 or 7 and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. That's not how I like to run my shows though. Because again, from your standpoint, I try to be considerate and say, I don't want to waste your time, bro. If you're coming over here for a few hours, let's make sure we get the most of it. Exactly. Let's not have you sit around. Exactly. And so I do 100% strongly agree with you that, like, you know, put in the work and practice and put in the time.
And like, you know, when I didn't know shit about comedy, I watched the people who I admire. I watched people who were like 3 steps ahead of me, and I followed them. I said, all right, what are you doing?
How did they get there? What were they doing?
What show did you do? Oh, okay, let me put that show over here. I'll write that shit down. All right, that show looks like, all right, that's cool. Okay, I see you don't do this kind of show. Cool. Oh, I see you post this many times. All right, cool. Like, I didn't know anything, but I saw them succeeding. I was like, let me do that. Because if you just show up and you wing it all the time, like, cool, but as a producer, we start to notice. And you may be funny as hell, but you're not going to get the manager, you're not going to get an agent, you're not going to get those professional gigs that you really want. So that's the thing. Like, it is a job. You have to put that
in. You get what you get. Yeah, what you give, right? No, you get what you give. So you got to put it in. You got to put it in to get it back.
And like, I haven't even been doing comedy fully 3 years yet. And people remind me all the time, like, I can't believe you've been doing it. Oh my God, you got this,
Bro, you're pretty accomplished for not even doing it 3 years. But again, you
which
put
I appreciate.
No.
And it's hard for me to understand. It's hard for me to take that, but I'm really understanding that. But it's because of all the other things that I put. It's the work that I put in. I have great friends like Kalia McNeil, who she's done festivals and done big things. She just taped her Comedy Central like online thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's doing big shit. And those are people I ask, yo, how did this happen? Yep. Because while I'm only 3 years in and she's 12, 13 years in, what can you tell me? Oh, don't do this? Done. I'm not doing that. Like, let me go. So, but I have access to those people because of the way I hold myself.
And I think that's super critical. Yeah. Even you have access to good people too, Brian. You know what I mean? The people that are, again, influencers, doing their things, brand, like a couple of your buddies. So it's like, you have a solid network that you could, again, rely on.
I was very arrogant in where I didn't, literally for 7 years, people were like, why don't you ask for it? What is the gap here? Why isn't he putting you on blah blah blah?
But it's hard.
But I was like, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna figure this out. And then eventually, a couple of years ago, we had a talk where I was like, all right, man. I guess I pride aside, what do I? He just gave me his blueprint of what his opinion of what a person, and especially what he did. But he is also someone who works as like he's got Kobe mentality. Yeah. He's like that is what he bases his persona. He's gonna outwork anyone.
He puts out a lot of stuff, a lot of content.
That is him. I'm not. Part of it is self-awareness. I'm not that dude. Like, you know, I can't say no to sometimes to some drinks and some stuff. And so he's very much
that's the
grind. That's the inner child talking. Yeah. But it's like he was like, this is it. But he sees bigger picture where I was seeing short-term stuff, and then I'm slowly reversing out and like, I truly kind of want, this is how I want it, and I'm accepting like, Brian, you can't keep doing that and expecting to get to I can't. And I wanted to make it work, and then I realized finally, like, I can't. You have to.
It's
you
tough.
have to. The work is important, and for me, the work is to stop, you know, fucking around. Stop partying so much. That was what always. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Talk to him. Talk to Brent. Talk to people that are ahead of me in many steps.
Bro.
Yeah, man.
And like swallow my pride. That was it for me because it looks different for everyone.
Yeah.
And I fucking had to do it, and that's why I don't feel bad anymore when I text Brent or him or anyone ahead of me, even Cody, even like. What did you like? How did you write that? Like, I don't care anymore because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to like make it, you know. And no one should be stepping down or punching down on someone.
That's it.
Who's just trying to better themselves.
Listen, I spend a lot of time. There's something like I just really want to touch on this.
Yeah.
Once again, I don't feel like I've made it. But I feel like in Santa Barbara, people look at me like, "Oh shit, like that's dope."
Bro, I would just say the only reason we put you up there is because there's a lot of people that talk and people don't follow through. I feel again for even being three years into comedy, you've accomplished a lot.
No, I appreciate
when
that.
When a lot of people given that opportunity or given that, they wouldn't have done the same. So that's why we say we appreciate what you've done.
And it means a lot to me because
100%.
I'll go out and people will recognize me and they'll say what's up, and like that means something because it means that like I have not even like pulled in the community, but it just means that like
you're doing it right.
Yeah,
you're doing something right, my guy.
And also like that I'm not an asshole, which is like a really nice thing.
I was gonna say that's a big one.
Yeah, but
you're humble about it.
I am.
You're well accepted in the community. Everybody likes you.
Yes, and I want to say this like I will answer anybody's question about anything in my little career. Anything, any game that I can give somebody, I'm gonna give you. I'll spend an hour on the phone for fucking free. And I've done that for maybe 30 people to know that only 2 of them are going to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I know that.
Right.
But I'm here as a resource because there were other people in my life who are a resource. So why not pass that along?
Yeah.
Right.
So when I see new comics, I'm talking about like brand spanking new comics who, if I spend the time, look, man, I don't have a lot of money. All I have is time. Time is my most valuable resource. If I spend time to sit down with you for 15 minutes, that means something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if I say, yo, for 15 minutes, blah, 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 and then they just say, fuck you to my advice, like, cool. But there are a lot of people who will reach out. And when they reach out, they understand that time is my resource.
Right.
And that means something to me because it means that they want something and they're hungry for it. And we should ask questions. Ego gets in the way, man. That's why I dropped out of college the first time. My fucking ego. So, you know, I mean, it's dope that you finally were like, yo, let me just ask.
Yeah, because I just wasn't getting further doing what I was doing. I had to it's one of those things. Like you always say, takes a village.
Yeah.
Like it does. Like and it's like I could only really do it for so long, and I got to where I got to in life and whatever financial and comedic, whatever you want to call it. And then I was like, all right, I'm stuck, and I can't really like wing my way out of this one anymore. Yeah. And then I was like, fine. And then the moment I opened myself to like these things, then things started opening back, and then, you know, it's the cliche thing. It worked out, right. and now I'm like not that person who's afraid of many things that I was afraid of 2 years ago, and so it's cool. I learned and I grew.
Has there been any memorable moments that you kind of realized were just had a big impact on you in your career?
So yeah, like for me, it seems like it happens weekly or every time I do, since I am like only about a year into taking it seriously. And I recently, like, you know, Portland was a big one, and then sometimes these Tuesday night mics, I'll like feel like I do really well, and then or something will hit, and then like even recently we went to one in Goleta, Centennial Beer Hall. I was getting out of my comfort zone of doing because I was just kind of only doing open Blue Owl, and like a lot of people were like, oh, where else do you go? I'm like, kind of nowhere besides Blue Owl in Portland at a random comedy club, and then one time at Benchmark, and then but I'm like, yeah, like it's crazy, but I didn't want to do it. I was super tired from all the yoga I was doing, and I was really like, I'm not doing this. But here's what happened. These two people reached out to me, the producers, Gary, and I'm spacing on that guy's name. Serenade the Local is his Instagram. Shout out to him. And he was like, hey, man, like, they've been really trying to get me. When I post content, I guess there was people there that followed me, and then they were sending it to them, and they're like, get him here. And then they were telling me after my set, they're like, hey, you don't know me, but like I told them, Gary and them, to get you here because like you're funny, and I follow you on Instagram, you don't probably know me. So I was like, I appreciate that. And so I learned from my mistakes in the past where I was like, I'd say no to things that didn't feel comfortable. And the moment I was like, I really was just gonna stay home. It was a Friday night. This was 2 weeks ago. I was like, I don't want to do this. I have nothing really to talk about. All those thoughts come creeping in.
Yeah.
Then something else came in my head. It was like, you know, if people are reaching out to you to go do this, then you should probably do it. You're not like going up there clamoring, like they're asking you and telling you, hey, we'll put you on whenever you want, like kind of thing. Like you get up before the headliner, you tell us. Like they were kind of treating me a lot better, and I was like, wow. And then they're coming up and doing the whole like, thanks for coming and blessing our mic, and I'm like, I am nowhere, like I'm not that dude, but like thank you. And then I went and did my set, and it was the best set I've ever done, like thus far. And and the footage I saw of it and rewatching it from different people, and like it was like the bigger laughs I got. And I didn't think there were so many things I was like, this crowd ain't gonna like this shit. Yeah. I'm talking about yoga and ice plunging. What are a bunch of Goleta Mexican dudes gonna know about this?
Hey, wait. Hey, nothing's wrong with Goleta Mexican dudes.
Nothing, dude. But they all fucked with it. I was like, we're talking about high sock yoga and shit. Like, I was like, this is crazy. They all kind of fucked with the jokes. Yeah. And that goes to show you, like, not trying to like second guess things, and you don't know the outcome. And even if it was gonna bomb, fuck it, I should have gone no matter what. And I'm glad I did, because that was the best possible situation, was me, doing well. You either do not well or you do well, and I did well, thankfully. And a lot of people gave me the feedback, and just because I was like, I felt like I did well, but then a bunch of random people come up to you and tell you do well, and then I'm like, okay, I think that's a little validation here. But for me, it happens almost by the week, because I'm just so new to this, and these are like very novel experiences, and I cherish them because I still feel like a baby, when I'm doing these things. I still get the butterflies, but as I venture out and get more, like, we'll see how what changes the threshold of what's meaningful. But for right now, every time I go on mics, especially these like different things, different stimuluses, like Portland was a big one, and then going to Goleta, just changing the scenery is like, that to me has become now like, that is now the biggest memory I have. So it's cool. They change a lot, but yeah.
I think like there's a few. I think there's just always these different moments.
Yeah. If you had to pick one,
I guess really the getting accepted to the Laugh After Dark Comedy Festival was like a big deal for me. In the On the Rise category, it's a company that I've really watched from afar, and just watched how they have how they've produced comedy, and now they're producing people's specials, but the shows they put on, and the caliber and the way, like, how highly they are regarded, and you could tell just from Instagram that they're good people. Yeah. So when they did their first festival, which festivals can be really important for comics because it allows you to network with people from all around the United States. And they did their first festival, and I applied, and they had like this, they announced the people who got in on YouTube, and I like took the day off, and I watched, and I didn't get in the first festival, and I felt like my 5 minutes was really fucking funny, and I was upset. I was actually truly really sad. I've only been doing comedy for 2 years, but I was like, I should be there. So then the next year I applied, and I worked all year on my 10-minute set. I mean, everything I did was really to try and get into this festival. Okay. And so when I found out that I got into the festival, I was at the gym, and I started crying. Fuck yeah. And like, that was a big deal for me. Yeah. And
it took you a year, right?
It took me a year.
So you invested a year, like, I'm going to go in for a year, and I'm going to get this. I'm going to get
this. The same set, like, cutting out words,
That's why you cried though, bro, because it was rewarding as fuck, dude.
And like people don't understand, it wasn't even just cutting out words; it was cutting out like seconds and pauses,
the way,
delivery,
just the little things, man. Like refining, just to get in that festival. And so then I got into the festival, and then, like I said, there's different categories, and then I won the Best of Festival award of my category, and I did not feel like in fact, I fucked up my set. But I really didn't feel like I had the best set in that category. But there's judges and all that, and so then to be announced as the winner, like for me, is like I don't think I've ever actually really like appreciated what it is. Yeah, but that really meant a lot to me because I think people understood not only how much work I've put into this, but I think people know this. Like, all right, I'm on my way. Like, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
But even more importantly, there are people who are not at that level who see how hard I work, and they're like, yo, like, we want to work like you. Like, when I show up to an open mic, like in Slow or whatever, like, my opinion matters, which is really nice. But, like, sometimes my opinion should not matter. But, like, to have people look to me like that, it just, once again, means that I'm doing something. And that's what I appreciate.
Yeah.
Sure. So, yeah, that was, like, the moment for me. Yeah, man.
But, like, where can people find you if they wanted to see what's coming up and what's going on with you guys?
You can find me on Instagram every morning, bright and early, posting all the shit.
What's
posts.
your handle, bro?
At Champagne Brian with 2 N's. I have a TikTok. I think it's the real Brian. It's the same shit.
I think.
I don't know. I just post shit. I'm on Instagram a lot. Everyone knows that. And then comedic wise, I am every Tuesday at his Let Loose Comedies at Blue Owl. So that's usually 7, but right now it's 6. But it goes back to 7.
It
right?
will, yes.
It'll eventually go back to 7. Just go follow Let Loose Comedy on Instagram.
Let Loose Comedy SB.
Let Loose Comedy SB.
That's usually where I will be, and then I will promote anything that if I get a heads up for shows or anything I'm a part of. My Instagram will always be where I will post everything for.
Yeah, you're pretty good about that. Just follow him on Instagram. Just follow him on Instagram.
Everything, and then yeah, I think that's it. I don't use Facebook. Snapchat's whatever.
Snapchat's whatever.
You have a Snapchat?
I got one, but like it's just no.
You sending news on Snapchat? What you doing?
I had a MySpace once upon a time, but yeah, I don't use Snapchat either anymore.
You know, I literally use it to Snapchat like 2 of these guys that like only use it, and we just have these like random conversations, and I send them a lot of like gym selfie stuff because like I want to make them feel like shit.
I send them a lot of gym selfie stuff.
It's Christian and Billy. I'm like always like, hey, what's up, primos? Like, wake up.
Shout out to Christian and Billy for having a Snapchat.
Christian and Billy.
Yeah, I'm always
for
like,
fueling
yo,
his
get
inner
up.
child.
Yeah, because they're like, they're up to riffraff. They're up to good. And I'm always like, yo, I'm in the gym, 7 a.m. Where you at?
There you go.
But like that's why I really use it. But it's other than that, Instagram. What
about you, Chris? Where can people find you if they want to connect?
I guess the best way is Instagram. My Instagram handle is at CRWSpeaks, or you can find me at crwspeaks.com. Or you can follow my production company. We do shows in Santa Barbara, and and that's Let Loose Comedy SB. That's the Instagram handle. Or you can go to letloosecomedy.com. And yeah, we have an open mic every Tuesday at the Blue Owl. Right now it's at 6 p.m. And show up, you know what I mean? Like if you ever thought about doing comedy or you want to confess to a murder, that's why I always say we don't care. Just come, you know what I mean? And
Tell
have a good time.
Crowd.
Yeah, like
or if you're a therapist looking for cash, or you need some money.
Or if you're a therapist whose practice is looking a little low right now, we know about 15 people sign up tomorrow for the right price. But yeah, that's me, man. That's it.
No, I want to thank both of you guys. Thank you guys for coming to the show, taking the time out of your busy schedules, coming here, putting the people on, letting them know what's going on with the comedy industry.
Shout out Ace Rivington.
Shout out Ace Rivington. Bro, we got
shout out Vibe Rose. Shout out Ivan.
Yeah,
Ivan, thank you guys.
Anybody who's doing anything is worth shouting out. Like for real. Like the fact that you've been doing this, you got this going. Like kudos to you, man. Because it takes a lot.
100%.
It takes a lot to commit to anything, and you're doing it. So
thanks,
shout
bro.
out to you.
I appreciate you. I've been having some really good guests.
Yeah,
some really good guests.
It takes a village.
Yeah, it takes a village.
What's your next? What's the next shows you got coming through? We have your all female.
Tell me about your shows.
We have your ex-girlfriend's comedy show, which is on the 15th of February. That is sold out.
Oh, I want to go.
Sorry, but listen, on the 21st of March. We're going to do a really dope show, in which we go to letloosecomedy.com. It's basically, we're going to have a bunch of local comedians. It's called Fudge Factor. It's a show that's in LA. That's big. It's at different comedy clubs in LA, but we're going to bring it up here.
Okay.
And the audience basically writes suggestions, and then we make up stand-up comedy on the fly. So that's gonna be really dope. Brian's gonna be a part of it.
Do you know where that's at, venue-wise?
Yeah, that's gonna be at the SB Wine Collective,
Oh,
which is
nice.
where we do
Okay.
the third Thursday of every month. We do a show there. Helena Bakery, for those of you who never looked across the way inside there. But that's gonna be a really dope show, and that one's not sold out. Tickets are not on sale yet. I don't know when this airs. That's gonna be fucking dope. I'm really excited to bring that up here.
I'm gonna go through for sure.
That'll be the big one. That'll be the one
that's
where
gonna be really
everyone,
What
all
day
my
is that? You
friends
said
will-
Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
It's
It's
a
the third
Thursday.
Thursday, so that's gonna be March 21st.
Okay.
March 21st.
I'll roll through for sure.
2024.
I'll be there.
This will
Yeah.
be the one I finally will tell everyone. This is the date. Here's an advance warning.
Yeah.
Because everyone's always like, when can I see you?
Yeah, I want to buy tickets as soon as they come out.
Yeah, I got
Fuck
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just, we also, if you go to letloosecomedy.com, we have a newsletter, so you sign up for that, whatever.
Subscribe.
Yep.
Got you.
But that's gonna be a really dope show, and that for me is a good way to just I don't want to say give back to local comedy, but it's gonna be a good way for the locals to just go up and have a good time. So
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
I'm very excited
Yeah.
now, honestly.
Yeah, man.
See both my homies there.
I appreciate
That's what's
that.
up.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you guys again. Thank you guys so much for being on the show,
Thank you,
guys.
man.
Appreciate you
Absolutely.
guys.
Of course.
Of course.
Fuck yeah.